I recently added some more of the Artiscent Atelier perfumes, and these are the perfumes from Superdrug that they don't call themselves dupes, they don't advertise themselves as dupes, but very helpfully people all over the internet have pointed out what these are supposed to be dupes of. Now, there's no reason that you would have seen the video because it's one of my really early videos that I did on my channel, one of the first ones I did. But I did already talk about Vanilla Blush, because Vanilla Blush is a dupe and a good dupe for Dior Forever and Ever. Now that is a singularly unique perfume. It is incredibly beautiful, spring-like. I think of it as my freesia perfume. It smells absolutely like spring flowers. It's absolutely scrumptious and beautiful and light. It's actually what my wedding perfume was. It's one of my absolute all-time favourite perfumes. It's one of the perfumes I've had in my collection for the longest time. And I've never, until this, found anything that smelled anything like it. I've smelt things that kind of have the same kind of vibe, might be in the same family, but I've never smelt anything that actually smells like Dior Forever and Ever until I got Vanilla Blush. Now, for me, Vanilla Blush is never going to replace Dior Forever and Ever, because it's to me slightly woodier, slightly heavier, but the overall scent profile is absolutely Dior Forever and Ever. As you can see, these come in I think 50 mils and 100 mils, and at the moment these are on sale. They're often on sale. I think full price the 100 mil is like 17 and the 50 mil is maybe £11, something like that. They nearly always have these on special offer. I actually just bought these 2 new ones, and I think it was buy one get one half price, but then typically they're all just entirely half price at the moment now. So I went in to collect my online order, and saw them even cheaper. But whatever, I'd paid the price. I'd done work. I could not be bothered to get a refund and sort it all out. So this is beautiful. This is a fabulous alternative if you're on a budget and you don't want to spend £100 on Dior Forever and Ever. And now, the notes in Vanilla Blush are that it says Vanilla Blush is inspired by a garden full of white flowers during springtime, and that is absolutely what this smells like. So the scent is expressed by addictive jasmine and lily of the valley wrapped in intimate musks and warm vanilla. Now I find this one, it doesn't list wood, but it also doesn't list rose, and I'm pretty sure there's doesn't list freesia, and I'm pretty sure there's freesia in this, and rose. Oh, it's not identical, but it's really close. The thing with Dior Forever and Ever is there is a magic to that perfume that I don't think you can recreate, in the same way that you can never find anything that smells like the original Poison. Nothing ever smells exactly like the Dior perfumes. They always smell very close for the dupes, but never quite the same. But as I said, this is great. This is one that I've had for a while, and because I have the original, I don't really wear this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and leave this bottle either at work or at my mum and dad's place, so that when I visit, I don't have to take a perfume with me. I've always got one that I really like. So that's Vanilla Blush, and I've had that for ages. I really like it. Oh, and just to say, there's been a few different versions of Dior Forever and Ever. The current one only lists freesia, jasmine, and a tincture of rose, but that I don't think it quite can explain how that perfume smells. It's beautiful, and I think when you look at the old notes from one of the previous versions, it makes more sense for how the perfume smelt and still smells, and how this smells. So the notes of the older version of Dior Forever and Ever, before it was in a really classy bottle like it is now, it used to be in a kind of plasticky looking bottle, very 90s looking, even though I think it's 2000s. Top notes of freesia, ivy and jasmine, middle notes of rosehip, almond blossom and geranium, and base notes of vanilla, musk and amber. And although I do think there's a slight rose vibe to this, and in the previous version I think there is actually rose listed, I think I can really get a sense for freesia. I can really get a sense for some kind of musk. I think the almond blossom and the ivy totally makes sense for this. I don't find it super jasmine-y. I don't find it mega rosy, but I think it's definitely a bit rosy. And it's just, I mean, I absolutely think this is the best you can get from that range. I've never ever found a perfume that smells like Dior Forever and Ever other than this, and I was looking for ages because I used to want to wear that as my signature perfume, but it was really expensive, so I just saved it for special, and now it's kind of my wedding perfume, so it is a really special smell to me. Okay, I just went and picked these up, so I've got one on one arm, one on the other. And I've been wearing them for a little while, and this is intriguing. So, Spring Fleur. I've got it on paper as well. This is very light, and you'll understand why it's light when I tell you what it's supposed to be a dupe of anyway. Okay, so Spring Fleur. This is supposed to be a dupe of Chloe. So I don't know whether this is supposed to be the EDT or the EDP. I've never actually owned a bottle of Chloe. It's not my favourite perfume by any means, but it's a scent I always really recognise because it's still popular, obviously. But when I was younger, it was really popular. A lot of girls went around smelling like Chloe. But so I'll tell you what they've said the notes are for Spring Fleur. So it says, delicate floral fragrance brightened by fruity hues of blackcurrant and juicy peach, leaving a velvet and sensual finish on the skin. Doesn't really say anything about what florals are in it, interestingly. Strengthened by multiple faceted sandalwood and heliotrope. Okay, so very... could be anything kind of scent. But if you look at Chloe, so Chloe Low Eau de Toilette, that's rose, grapefruit, lychee, damask rose, magnolia, oak moss, cedar, musk and amber. And then the original eau de parfum is peony, lychee, freesia, middle notes rose, lily of the valley, magnolia, base notes Virginia, cedar and amber. So yeah, I'd say probably it's this original eau de parfum. This is very light, very spring-like. Spring Fleur actually really suits this as a name. It's, I mean, I'd never choose it over this, but it's pretty. It's definitely pretty. It's got a very nice spring quality. It's very light. Perfect skin scent if you are fussy about perfumes. It has a kind of lovely, slightly soapy, but not shampooey. It's not kind of sharp. It's like a perfect level of sweetness, I'd say this. It's bright. Sometimes I find peony really screechy, and I'm not finding this one screechy. I think the lychee in this isn't too sharp. Or, well, they say blackcurrant, don't they? Do they say blackcurrant? Yeah. There's definitely peach. Heliotrope and sandalwood, I'm not sure I would massively guess. It's not hugely woody. I think probably the original Chloe's a bit more woody than this. But this, I don't think it's a perfect dupe by any means. I don't think it's exactly like Chloe. But I do think it's very pretty, very easy to wear. But it is very light, this one. I think you'd have to spray in a slightly crazy way to get this to be a strong scent. So I think this is much better suited to people who don't want a strong scent, you know. So then our last one is Exotic Musk. I was really interested in this one. Okay, so yeah, this one is quite strong compared to the others anyway. Exotic Musk, there you go. I do think these bottles are really lovely. They're very kind of, these are just stickers on the front, so that's not the kind of classiest of looks, but I think that just as a perfume collection, I think they look really smart. They're really pretty. I like them. Alright, so Exotic Musk. Now this one says, soft yet comforting sensation and the creamy nobleness of sandalwood with spicy vanilla facets, jasmine and rose notes and warm milk. So this is supposed to be a dupe of Santal blush. by Tom Ford. And from what I remember, it's been a long time since I've smelt that perfume, but from what I remember, and also, to be honest, from what it's compared to, Santal blush, I think this is quite a good one. I don't think it's exactly the same, but I think it's pretty impressive. Yeah, so the notes in Santal Blush by Tom Ford are top notes of spices, caraway, cinnamon, fenugreek and carrot seeds. Middle notes, ylang ylang, jasmine and rose. Base notes, sandalwood, benzoin, Virginia cedar, musk and agar wood. This is a very sweet, spicy, and I would say boozy sandalwood. This definitely smells like sweet rum or something, and I don't mean that because I think it smells alcoholic, as in it smells like cheap alcohol that you make a perfume with. I think it smells like there is a liquor note in this, and it gives me a rum vibe. It kind of reminds me of the rum in Katy Perry's Indie. You get that kind of rich alcohol-y liquor sweet rum vibe, and it doesn't really go away with this one. It kind of remains there. I think this smells like a sweet sandalwood and rum with a few spices. That's what I think this smells like. And this, for me, is kind of redundant in my collection, because what I think this and actually Santal Blush is compared to one of my faves, well, two of my faves actually, my first favourite and my second favourite woody perfumes. So the top votes are that it smells like Adam Levine for women, and the second votes are Stash by Sarah Jessica Parker. Now, I don't really think this one smells particularly like Stash. I think Stash is much creamier and smoother, and it kind of has a different vibe, I think. But this smells just like the opening of Adam Levine for women. Now, I don't really need a perfume that smells like the opening of that one, because my favourite thing about Adam Levine is the dry down into the kind of sandalwood, vanilla and magnolia smell. This doesn't have that magnolia vibe to it at all. This is very much spicy, kind of oriental smelling sandalwood with a really boozy sweet note going on, so it has a kind of vintage vibe to it. I mean, not in a kind of bad way. It's not like Obsession, it's not like screechy, it's not sharp, it's still sweet and creamy and smooth, but it does have that much more vintage vibe that you get right at the top when you first spray Adam Levine. And then Adam Levine kind of morphs into this gorgeous marigold scent that's incredibly heavy in creamy kind of powdery sandalwood, and then has a very strong sweet kind of vanilla, but it doesn't retain like anything that smells boozy to me. It becomes kind of powdery and creamy and cozy, whereas this one smells rich. I mean, it literally smells actually like a rich person would wear it as well. So I think it's very classy, it's very tasty, but I think I would never reach for this one, because if I fancy this kind of smell, I'm going to go for Adam Levine, because I love that dry down. And if I fancy Sarah Jessica Parker, that to me is a slightly more resinous, kind of slightly greener. It's got a slight nuttiness to it. It's kind of, it's got like more of a church vibe going on with that one, and I don't think it's as spicy as this or Adam Levine. It's got a kind of different type of spice, if that makes sense, because it's got like sage, so it's a bit more herbal than it is spicy, and it's just warm and creamy and heavenly. It's just my absolute favourite woody perfume of all time, like hands down. So that kind of it feeds a different desire than the Adam Levine one for me. So I don't really need this, but I have a friend who I think might really like it, so I might give it to her, because I'm going to see her for a drink at Christmas, so I might just take it back to my hometown with me and see if she'd like it, because I think it would suit her just because she's a very classy lady, But if you don't want to spend like Tom Ford prices, I think this is brilliant. This one is very light. If you can get it for at the moment you can get this 50ml for like £6. Absolutely worth it if you like Chloe. This one, if you want a rich, boozy, sweet, spicy sandalwood, oh my god, what an absolute bargain. This is the one though that I think is the most special, because there isn't anything else like this other than Dior Forever and Ever, and that is at least £100 for a bottle nowadays. So I think that this is the kind of most unexpected dupe, because no one else, even La Rive doesn't have a dupe of that perfume, you know, like, and there aren't really any perfumes that are kind of based around that smell. There's no celebrity perfumes that are trying to smell like it, you know. This is the one, Vanilla Blush, that I think is really special. And like I said, I chose Dior Forever and Ever as my wedding perfume because I think it is the smell of kind of it's like an innocent spring smell. It's basically what an angel would smell like. That's how I feel about that perfume. And this is very close to that original smell, very close indeed. And like I said, it's the closest I've ever found, and it probably is the closest I ever will find. So luckily I've already got a bottle of the Dior because I spent a huge amount of money on it like many years ago, and I got the big bottle, so it's lasting me quite well. But this does open up the opportunity to me to just wear that kind of scent profile whenever I fancy it, rather than just for special occasions. So like I said, I think it's one that it'll be really handy to just like have at my mum and dad's, so that if I just want to wear it when I'm home, I can just smell absolutely delicious, and I know that it only cost me like a £5, you know, absolute bargain. So yeah, I just think these are really good. I sniffed a few more of these in store. They've got one called Patchouli Passion, which I think is La Vie Belle, and that, yeah, I mean, that's fair enough. I really don't like La Vie Belle, so I really didn't like that one, and I think that's understandable, but I think that one's not bad at all. It does definitely have a La Vie Belle vibe about it. I smelt another flowery one, and I can't remember what it is, but from what I can tell from these Artiscent Atelier perfumes, they are extremely good value, and they're actually quite good dupes. They're not identical, but they kind of are matching the kind of very closely matching the profile and the vibe of the perfumes that they're duping, even if they're using completely different notes, and or just saying they're using completely different notes, I don't know. The other thing that's really good about these at the moment is if you like the more classic scents, they've got it's like $5.99 at the moment, I think, or $4.99 maybe even, for a little miniature set, and that one is the kind of the best sellers, I think. So it's Exotic Musk, it's the Patchouli Passion one, the La Vie Belle, and then the other one that for some reason has completely fallen out of my mind, but is definitely a dupe. I wonder if it's Carolina Herrera or something. It's one of the other perfumes that I really don't like as like a designer perfume anyway. So I didn't really need to get that, but they're so cute. They're exactly these bottles, but just really tiny. So yeah, if you want to try stuff out, that's a really good option. But I am just super impressed with these. I really hope that they keep bringing them out. I hope that they bring out some more, some different scents, you know. I think that the men's ones are supposed to be really good as well. Those come in like I think they're in a dark blue bottle or something. They're certainly in a dark blue box. And those are supposed to be quite good as well. I think they might have a Dior Savage one. I think they might have, is it Chanel Bleu? Maybe, anyway. But if you're on a budget and you love a good bargain, absolutely, in the UK, check out Artiscent Atelier from Superdrug. They are sometimes a bit of a pain in the bum to find on the Superdrug website, but if you do a Google search, you'll find them really easily. And there's a couple of blogs that tell you what the dupes are supposed to be. So if I'll find that and I'll put it in the bottom of this video anyway, in case you want to go and have a look and see what else is available. But yeah, just really pleased. I'm going to give this to my friend. I hope she loves it. This one, I don't know, maybe I'll try it in warmer weather. I don't think this is the weather for it because it's very cold at the moment. But it's just very fresh and pretty and light, you know. But this one, absolute winner, and a keeper. Definitely a keeper.